Hello everyone, myself Brunda studying at Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering 4th SEM ISC. Let me discuss today about the directory structures and file mounting. The contents are: in directory structure, we discuss about introduction, types of a directory, advantages and disadvantages. Next, file system mounting. Introduction. Directory structure definition. Directory structure is the way an operating system arranges files that are accessible to the user. Directory operation to be supported are: search for a file. We can search a file by the file name. We can create a file. We can create the many number of the files in the directory. We can delete a file. We can delete a file which is not necessary inside the directory. We can rename a file. I given the file name as ABC. I can rename the file into the DEF. Types of the directory. We have single level directory, two level directory, tree structured directories, acyclic graph directories, general graph directory. In single level directory, the single level directory is the simplest directory structure. The entire system will contain only one directory which is supposed to mention all the files present in the file system. Single level directory structure has only one directory which is called the root directory. It is the single level directory because it is only one level. D1 to D8 is known as the root level. We cannot further divide into the subdirectories. The users are not allowed to create subdirectories under the root directories. Single level directory is the simple directory structure. In it, all files are contained in same directory, which make it easy to support and understand. Advantages of single level directory is: since it is a single directory, so its implementation is very easy. If the files are smaller in size, searching will become faster. I need to search the file F4 and the directory size is D5. We can search the file easier and it is a fast also. The operations like file creation, searching, deletion, updating are very easy in such a directory structure. Next, we can go for the disadvantages. There are many. There may chance of name collision because two files can have the same name. Example: I given the directory 1 also the file name hello and the D2 file name also hello, which causes the name collision. Searching will become time taking if the directory is large. Example: my directory size is D1 to 100. I need to search the file F99, so it become time consuming. It takes a more time to search F99 from 1 to 99. This cannot group the same type of files together. Two level directory. In two level directory structure, the user creates a directory directly inside the root directory. But once a user creates such directory, further he cannot create any subdirectory inside the directory. Example: D1 is the root directory where D level, D12, D13 and D14 are the user directory, where the D level cannot create any subdirectory, D2 also, and D13 and D14 where they cannot create any subdirectories. Four users have created separate directory inside the root directory, but further no subdirectory is created by the user. This two-level structure allows each user to keep their files separately inside their own directory. Example: here the D level directory can keep the files separately F1, F2, F3 in the D level. The file F4 can be kept in the directory D12. Advantages of the two level directory is: the main advantage is there can be more than two files with same name and will be very helpful if there are multiple users. I can give the file in D level, I can give the file name F1, F2, F3 as ABC, and in D14 also I can give the file name F7, F8, F9 also the ABC. But in single level structure, you saw that we cannot give the same file name. A security will be there which will prevent user to access each other user's file. We cannot access the D12 cannot access the D level files. Searching of the files become very easy in the directory structure. Disadvantages are: as there is advantages of security, there is also disadvantage that user cannot share the file with the other user. The file F4 is not shared to the D level and the D13. We cannot share the file in the two level directory system. Unlike the advantage, user can create their own files. User don't have the ability to create subdirectory. I have said the user can create the root directory as a user directory, but there is no subdirectories. Tree structure directory. This type of directory is used in our PCs. The biggest disadvantages of a two level directory was that one could not create subdirectories in a directory. The tree structure directory solved this problem. In a tree structured directory, there is a root directory at the peak. The root directory contains directories for each users. The users can, however, create subdirectory inside their directory and also store the file. D1 is a root directory and which consists with the user directory D11, D12, D13 and the D14. We can even create the subdirectory, but in two structure we're not able to create a subdirectory, but here we can create a subdirectory. The D12 has created subdirectory 1 and D13 has created the subdirectory 2. This is how things work on our PCs. We can store some files inside a folder and also create multiple folders inside a folder. The advantages: highly scalable compared to the previous two type of the directory, allows subdirectories inside a directory, searching is easy, allows grouping, segregation of important and unimportant files is easy. We can separate the important files in one subdirectory and we can separate the not important things files in the another subdirectory. And the disadvantages are, as one user cannot enter another user's directory, this restricts sharing of file. Too many subdirectories may make the search complicated. Users cannot modify the root directory's data. Files might have to be saved in multiple directories in case all of them do not fit into the one. Same here, we cannot also share the files. In acyclic graph directory, as we have seen the above three directories where none of them have the capability to access one file from multiple directories. The file or the subdirectory could be accessed through the directory it was present in, but not from other directories. This problem is solved in acyclic graph directory structure where a file in one directory can be accessed from multiple directories. Example, the D level has the file F. D level can also access the file F2 and the D12 can also access the file F2, but there we cannot access. You saw the three directory structure. In 3 also we are not able to share the files, but here the access of the file can be done. In this way, the files could be shared in between the users. It is designed in a way that multiple directories point to a particular directory or file with the help of the links. With the help of the link, we can access the file F2 or D12 and the D level can also access the file F2. Advantages: allow sharing of files or subdirectory from more than one directory. Searching is very easy. Example, I need to search the file F2. I can search in two paths. I can go for D level, from D level to F2, or else I can go from D1 to D12 and I can search the file F2. Provides more flexibility to the users. Disadvantages: harder to implement in comparison to the previous three. Since the files are accessed from the multiple directories, deleting a file may cause some errors if the user is not cautious. If the files are linked by an odd link, then it is necessary to delete all the reference to that file to permanently delete the file. Example, if one problem will occur, it need to delete every directories. It can create a permanent delete of the file because they are joined with the help of the links. General graph directory. This is an extension to the acyclic graph directory. In the general graph directory, there can be a cycle inside a directory. In general graph directory structures, cycle are allowed within a directory structure where multiple directories can be derived from more than one parent directory. Example, it is in root or user directories and these are the user directories and the subdirectories are there. The D9 is derived from the D4 directory. The D9 can access the file of the D3 directory and even D3 can also access the file of the D9 directory which form the cycle here. So it is called as the cycle directory. Okay. And even you can see it is in cost is more. Advantages: it allows the cycle. It is more flexible than other directory structure. And the disadvantages is it is more costly than others. It needs the garbage collection. Next topic is file system mounting. Let me look over the file system mounting. File system mounting. Mounting is a process by which operating system makes file and directories on a storage device available for users to access. A basic idea is just a file need to be opened. A file system must be opened. Before you need to access the file should be present on the file system and the file system need to be mounted. Mounting a file system attaches a file system to a directory is known as a mount point. See here, this is known as the mount point. The root file system is always mounted. The which is represent the slash is always mounted. Any other file system can be connected or disconnected from the root file system. Let me look over this. It is known as the mounted or the mounted point. It is an existing system. The system, new file system is there, no, which is not mounted. Okay. For mounting this, we need to attach to the mount point. With the system which is not mounted, we cannot access the directories. Example, we need to be mount. Before using it, we need to be mounted. Which it is a root. It is an user. User has a subdirectory of the Bill and Fred has the subdirectory help. In new file system which is not mounted, so we cannot use the directories like show, gen, prog and doc. We need to mount it by attaching to the mount point. Here, any other file system can be connected or disconnected from the root file system. We need to attach the unmounted system into the users, so it will be mounted. It is known as a mounted file system. You can see the third diagram, it is mounted. So the users can access the show, gen, prog and even doc. File system can only mounted by root unless root has previously configured current file system to be mounted onto the current predetermined mount points. Unmounting. Unmounting is the process opposite to the mounting, in which the operating system cuts off all the user access to files and directories on the mount point, write remaining queue of users data to the storage device, refreshes file system metadata. The unmounting is the process which is opposite to the mounting. The mounting is only like which the system which is not unmounted, we need to attach to the mounted. Mount point is the user at the user point, so it will be the mounted, and the users can access the directories like show, users, gen, prog and doc. See the third diagram, mounted, it is a mounted file system. Thank you.